Screen just told me that I am now live. Happy Sunday evening, or whatever day and time it happens to be. Whenever you happen to be watching this, you might not be watching it live. You might be watching this on YouTube. I don't know, many different ways this could be repurposed. So whenever you're watching this, wherever you're watching this at, shout out to you and where you at. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day. Leave a comment, tell me your name and location as you are coming in. What's up, DW Paez, Tucker Shields, what's going on? Tell me your name and location, those of y'all coming in. We're gonna try to make these, I'm gonna do these live streams on a consistent basis, so I gotta make them concise, so y'all know what to expect. Y'all know that it's gonna come all the time, and you know what to expect. So we gotta make them concise. So I'm gonna take like a minute or so. Shout out the people that are coming in, but you gotta tell me your name and location as you checking in. We got Canada in the house. Shout out to Canada. Vancouver. Shout out to Vancouver. And then we're going to get right into the material. We're going to talk about mental toughness here today. Miami is in the house. J9 Cents checking in from Miami. Christa 3131 from Germany. King of Prussia, C. Kells 6. Don from France. We got San Francisco. Arbin from Toronto. Seems like I got a Canadian. I do. We do got a lot of Canadian fans. I've shipped a lot of product to Canada over the years. So shout out to everybody in Canada who's either watched, purchased, downloaded, subscribed, streamed, whatever. London in the house, South Jersey, Los Angeles. So work on your game is worldwide, as you already know. If you didn't know, now you know. My name's Dre Baldwin. I'm checking in from Miami, Florida. Those of you who don't know me, I am a former 9-year pro basketball player. I am the creator of putting athlete workouts on the internet. Got 7,000 videos on YouTube. I've written 25 books. I've done 4 TED Talks. I've done a whole lot of other stuff that I ain't going to list out right here. You can Google me if you want to learn more. Or you can just go to workonmygame.com and you can get on my free email list. I send you an email every day, not to talk about myself, but to give you some mental game tools that will help you step your game up. And over time, you'll learn more about me as you need to. This ain't really about me. Let's talk about you here. The topic again, we talking mental toughness. I want to make sure everybody understands, because all of us need to develop, we got to have skills, right? We got to have resources to get things done. Everybody needs food, clothing, shelter. If you're going to start a business, you might need to put together a business plan. You might need some people working with you. You're going to need some startup capital. You're going to be an athlete. You might want some physical attributes that'll help you play your sport, whatever that is. If it's football, you're gonna need some strength and power so you can take the hits or give out the hits. So if it's basketball, you're gonna need maybe some size, some agility, athleticism to move around. If it's whatever sport, if it's running, your legs gonna need to be in good shape. The whole lower half of your body and your core and all that. There are physical tools that you need to get things done. But understand this, the one thing that all of them have in common, whether you're a business person who never works out, an athlete who never worries about the business, or you're somebody who does a little bit of both or anything in between, the one aspect that applies to every human being that will determine how far you go and what you do is the way that you think, your psychology. Your mindset controls how you utilize your physical resources. It also controls which physical resources you even recognize that you have, and it controls how resourceful you are in utilizing whatever resources are available to you. So for example, when a person's feeling really confident, they can take any little tool, any little thing. When they're feeling good and they're in a state of flow with confidence, they can take any little tool that they have and they can make use out of it because they're feeling positive and they're feeling mentally, they're in a state of flow that says anything that I do, I'm gonna figure out a way to make it work. All of you who are watching this now have been in a position, in a state of mind at some point in your life where no matter what happened, you knew you could handle it because you were just feeling that way, flowing mentally, confident, tough, whatever you want to call it. You were feeling good. But we've all also been in states where we feel like everything's against us. Nothing's working. Everything's working for everybody else, but nothing's working for us. Feel like the whole world is against us, right? And no matter what resources we have, you could have all the resources in the world. If your mental state is nothing's working, I'm having bad luck, I'm not having the success that I thought I would have. Other people are having way more success than me, and it's easier for them than it is for me. If you're in that mental state, no matter what type of mental resource, no matter what type of physical resources you have, you will not be able to do your thing with those resources. You won't be able to do as much with them as you thought you would. And you'll be what some people call an underachiever, meaning you have this much resources, but you achieve this much. Overachievers when you have this much, but then you achieve a little bit higher than that. But understand the key to all this is your mindset. Your mental game is what I call this your mental game. It unlocks your physical game. So when you look at someone they have a whole lot of physical resources, like somebody who has a lot of, let's say somebody like LeBron James, he has a lot of physical resources as far as his talents and abilities to play basketball, but he also has the mental resources, because when you combine the mental resources and the physical resources, I've never met LeBron, never had a conversation with him. I know he has the mental resources simply because I see the way that he performs with his physical tools. Like, there are other people who have tools similar to his, maybe not the full package of what he has, but there are people who have something that's in the ballpark. They don't do what he does. When you have the mental resources, what happens is you do the work to enhance the physical tools that you have, and you become greater than the sum of your parts. If any of you ever heard of the phrase synergy. Synergy is when you get a group of, it could be 2 people, it could be 200 people, is when they're all in the right frame of mind, a spirit of mental harmony, that their mindsets are all aligned. They produce more than all of them individually added up would be able to produce. They basically create what Napoleon Hill would call a mastermind. And any one of you individually, understand this, you can create a mastermind by yourself. Now, you create a mastermind by yourself. I'm actually going to do an audio episode on this, which y'all call a podcast, on this topic. And my show is called Work on Your Game. So if you're not subscribed to what y'all call a podcast, and check that out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, all that. Mastermind is when you get into the right state mentally, not what you physically have, not how much money you got, none of that, how good you are, your resume, none of that. When you're in the right state mentally, that combines with whatever you have tangibly, whatever your physical tools are, and then all of a sudden, you're able to produce better results than what your tangible resources say you would reasonably be able to do. So whenever you see a person overachieving, it's like you look at what they have and you're like, all right, it doesn't make sense that this person could be that good if that's all they got. You ever hear of a person like that? Or maybe you've been that person, or maybe you've had spurts in your life where you were just achieving way higher than what it seemed like you would be able to achieve, or what other people thought you might be able to achieve. That's when you get into that spirit of harmony with your mindset and your physical tools. That's the mastermind. So the mastermind has always been taught as being multiple people, but you need to develop a mastermind with yourself first. Then you could develop a mastermind with other people. Because if you're not in that state, why would anybody else want to team up with you? I mean, what are you bringing to the table? Nothing. If you can't get into the state yourself. So what does all this have to do with mental toughness? Knowing that life is always going to challenge you. And I'm going to take questions at the end. So anybody posting a question, I'm going to scroll through and address the questions at the end. Keep the questions short and get to the point if you posting a question. But the thing about mental toughness is life is always going to challenge you. Things are never going to be perfectly easy for anyone all the time. Everybody's going to be challenged. Everybody's going to go through rough patches. Everybody's going to have hard days. Everybody's going to face setbacks. Every one of you is going to go through a period in your life or a situation in your life when you thought things were going to go one way and they go another way. And it's the way that you didn't want them to go. The challenge is, or the difference is, what differentiates the winners from the losers in life is, first of all, how quickly you get over that setback, or if you get over it at all. And then how quickly you get back on the horse and get back to doing what you need to do. How quickly do you get back into that mastermind state of mind? How quickly do you get back into that flow? How long do you allow that setback or that adverse circumstance to slow you down? See, people who lose in life is not because they don't have tools. It's not because they have bad luck. It's just because they allow setbacks to slow them down and stop them, or they quit. And people who win, they have setbacks. Things happen to them. They have challenges too. Probably more challenges than the people who lose, because they keep doing stuff, so they're going to keep getting challenged. The only difference is they're able to fight through it. They had a mental toughness to keep going, and they keep going quicker. Meaning, for example, let's say you got 2 people, both of them with the same physical resources. I mean, whether that's an athlete, physical tools, or a business person, like they got the same amount of money, they got the same number of employees, they got the same knowledge, they went to the same school, they got the same business degree. 2 different people, right? The unsuccessful person faces a setback, and it takes them a week to get over it before they get back to doing their job. The successful person faces a setback, and it takes them an hour to get over it, and then they get back to their job. So what's the difference between 1 week and 1 hour? So let's just say that's about 7 days difference, right? That doesn't seem like that much. In a long run of life, if somebody lives to be 80 years old, 7 days is not that much time, right? But here's the thing. Let's say that happens once a month. I mean, how often in your life do you face a challenge or some type of setback or some situation where you're like, damn, I got to deal with this? Usually it's more than once a month. Usually it's like, every other day, once a week. That happens pretty often, right? So let's just say that happens to a person 10 times in a year. Now, 10 times 7 days, now it's a 70-day difference. Now multiply that by 10 years. That's a 700-day difference. Now, can you see how the successful person gets so far ahead of the unsuccessful person over time? That gap just keeps getting bigger and bigger. That concept right there is what I call the third day. And that's all part of my book, The Mirror of Motivation, which if you don't have is the link in my bio. You can get it for free. I've already paid for the book. All you gotta do is put in your address, take care of the shipping. We'll ship it to you worldwide. But that's the third day. That's the small difference between having mental toughness and not having it. And that is the difference between people succeeding and people not succeeding. That's really the crux of life for anybody. It doesn't matter what you do, who you are, where you're from, male, female, your gender, your background, who your family is, if your parents left you money, if your parents was broke, you don't even know your parents. It's mental toughness. How quickly do you get back to doing what you need to do even when things don't go right? As simple as that. The more mentally tough you can be on yourself, the less tough life will be on you. This is why somebody like Michael Jordan used to say, I try to make practice so hard on myself. He said, I practiced so hard so that when I got in the game was easier than the practice. Most people aren't able to do that because it's hard for us to push ourselves harder than life pushes us. We wait for life to push us, then we respond. And there's nothing wrong with responding when life pushes you. Hopefully you do something when life pushes you. But if you only respond when life pushes you, then you're going to be just like a whole bunch of other people because they think the same way. If you want to be exceptional, you got to push yourself harder than life pushes you. When you start doing that, everything changes. Now, with all that being said, I'm going to go through the comments and let's see what's going on here. If you got a question related to the topic of mental toughness, go ahead and post it. You got a question that's not related to this topic, then what I suggest you do is, first of all, browse my YouTube. Second of all, browse the blog on dreallday.com. Third of all, browse the archive of the Work on Your Game podcast, which you can access for free, at least for 14 days, at workonyourgameu.com. Workonyourgameu. That's like workonyourgameuniversity.com. So let me post those links. So to get the book for free is mirrormotivation.com. To get access to all the episodes of Work on Your Game podcast is workonyourgameu.com. You want to read my blog, it's dreallday.com. So I got a lot of websites. But they all giving you value. I don't just create them just to create them. So let's see what's going on here. If you got questions, go ahead and post it. Make sure you're getting to the point and be concise with it. All right, so we seeing where we at right here. I'm taking questions now. If you missed it, then we talking mental toughness is the topic here today. DW Paez says, my dream is to play 3-on-3, the 3-on-3 Olympics for basketball. I heard they're doing that now. Says he's going to try his best. His other dream is to get a college certificate as a cameraman. He learned from my videos. That's what's up. Congratulations. Keep going. Keep working on it. Knowledge, effort, repetition, dedication. Right. You got it right. Those are definitely keys. Mozart Gates, what's going on? Isaiah Mills was good. The Realist 09 said, my mom got me some clippers with your pic on it. I was like, I follow that guy on Instagram. Oh, yeah, I seen those. That's a stock photo shoot that I did like 10 years ago, and they be using those images for all kinds of things. So shout out to them. Shout out to that photographer. Shout out to the bag. NBA DK says, can you DM me? No, I cannot DM you. I mean, I can, but I'm not going to. ARB says, mental toughness a talent? No, it's a choice. If it was a talent, then I wouldn't be talking about it like this, because then, everybody wouldn't have access. So it's like, it'd be like if I did a live stream on being tall. Ain't nothing you could do to actually acquire the skill. Mental toughness is a choice. Anybody can be mentally tough. It's a decision that you have to make with yourself. Exactly. Sweatpants Carter answered the question right there. It's not a talent, it's a skill. A skill is a learned ability that can be practiced. So anything that is defined as a skill, anybody can get it if they want. But it is going to take some effort. That's the problem. That's the reason why a lot of people don't develop skills. They don't want to put the work in. Andy 91282 was good. Sweatpants Carter says, do you think there are politics in high school basketball? I did amazing in trials, but I got cut. There are politics in everything. People got to understand the definition of politics. Politics means people doing things to defend or advance their own personal interests. Okay, that's what politics means. And guess what? Every one of you is political. If you do something to advance your own personal interests, that's politics. If you build a relationship with somebody because you think they can help you get to where you want to go, that's politics. If you do something for somebody today because you're like, damn, I could probably ask them for a favor in the future if I help them out now, that's politics. Everything in life is politics. If there are people involved, it's politics. The saying is, if you put 3 people in a room, as soon as you put 3 people in a room, you get politics. That's the way it works. All right, politics is not a bad thing. All right, what you got to learn to do is not to avoid politics or be mad about politics, but to learn to work the system. You got to learn how to play the game of politics. People who succeed in life learn how to play the game of politics. They don't avoid it, they learn how to play it. So that's what y'all need to understand. Don't be mad about politics happening. If you've been a victim of politics, it's just because you don't have the right relationships with the right people. That's all. All you got to do is fix that problem. Now you know it's a problem. Now you can do something about it. And guess what? If you go to workonyourgameu.com, I got a whole masterclass on that topic of politics. And coming soon, in January, I will be offering individual masterclasses from my Work on Your Game show a la carte, meaning if you don't want to get into the membership, you don't want a recurring thing, and you don't want access to all the 1,500 episodes, you could just pick and choose which ones you want, and you could get each one individually. Same way I used to do with the basketball programs. You could get them one by one as you wish, but you get lifetime access. You got it forever. That's coming in January. We've been working on that today. That takes some effort though. So I'm working on that. It's coming. But when it's ready, trust me, you'll know about it. NBA DK says, is it possible to get a scholarship in AAU in high school in 1 year? Sure, if you're good enough. Scholarship ain't about how many years you played. It's about how good you are and who is interested in you. ARB says, sometimes I'm ashamed when I seek help about mentality because I feel like most people in the world are already mentally tough naturally. Well, most people are not mentally tough at all. Maybe they appear to be, but most people don't have mental toughness. Maybe it just looks like it because things are working for them. But wait till stuff is not working for them, you'll find out how mentally tough somebody is. Mental toughness isn't measured when things are working, it's measured when things are not working. All right, so you want to know if somebody's mentally tough, don't look at them when everything's popping off and working in their favor. Look at them when everything's not working. Then you'll see who's who and what's what. Daryl said, at what age would you recommend a basketball player to start going to the gym, working out? At whatever age they can get some professional supervision so that they're not in there on their own just doing stuff which could possibly injure them or waste time because they don't know what they're doing. So all you really need is somebody who knows what they're doing to advise you. That's when you should start going to the gym. And I got a program called Ultimate Athlete that will show you exactly how to do it to help you build a base of strength without weight room equipment. And then you can get my other program called Position of Power, which will help you build it with gym equipment. So I got you covered in every area. That's at hoophandbook.com. So basketball players, that's where you could get my basketball materials at hoophandbook.com. And then you basketball players out there who want to get any programs and stuff that I've created, that's there. My off the court stuff is called Ultimate Athlete and Position of Power. It's actually my best selling programs. All right, what else we got? I'm taking a couple questions. I've been sub since 2015. You know psychology like no other. But that's what's up, Kareem IMG. I appreciate that. I need to write a psychology book. Actually, I already wrote one. What do you know? It's called Dre Philosophy Volume 1. It's more of a philosophy book. I guess you're going to call it psychology. But I don't even know. Right now, I can't even tell you the difference off the top of my head. Will a content creation machine come back soon? What do you mean? You talking about the course? The content machine course? Yeah, I'm going to make that available again soon. I wanted to update that and make it better. So it will come back in 2020. We putting everything together in 2020. Anything that I've talked about putting out has eventually come out, and it usually doesn't take long. I work quickly, so yes, it's coming. Stay tuned. All right, so I got to the end of the questions. Everybody, the book is called The Mirror of Motivation, Self-Guide to Self-Discipline. Let's see if I got it close by. I just happen to have it. Here it is. Mirror Motivation, Self-Guide to Self-Discipline. Go to mirrormotivation.com. There's a link in my bio. You can get this book completely for free. All you got to do is take care of the shipping. We ship worldwide, wherever you are. Everybody have a great week. We're heading into 2020. Last thing I'm going to tell y'all, you have not written out your goals for 2020. What do you want to achieve in 2020? What do you need to do? What type of person you want to be? Write out your goals for 2020. Do it now before the new year. Do not show up to the new year without a plan. Write out your goals for 2020. It'll be the most important thing you do all year. Work on your game. Dre all day.